Go right over to Islands of Adventure, and we're gonna try a little bit of Circus McGurkis and their new menu. So, tell us about Circus McGurkis Cafe Stoo-pendous, Jared.
Yes, this is a quick service restaurant in Seuss Landing, if you're unfamiliar, and it just went through a long refurbishment. It closed back last June, I believe.
It was closed for a while.
Yeah, and they changed quite a few things about the way it works.
Yeah, so do you want me to talk about
Yeah,
that?
go ahead. Yeah,
okay.
go ahead.
So they changed it basically to how Minions Cafe works. So it's basically your mobile order. You mobile order and you go sit at the table, you put the table number into your order, and then someone brings it to your table, which is fine.
They're I think they're doing this. I don't know if they're doing it everywhere. They're doing it at a lot of places. They also did this over at Richter's Burger.
Yep.
We ate there a couple months back.
Mel's Drive-In.
Yeah, so I think this is the system they're going with. I'm not sure. It works okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the most efficient, but it does, I guess, beat like standing around waiting for your food and then finding a table. Finding a table first, I think, may be the reason they do this. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a different system if you're used to like other theme parks. I haven't seen anybody else really do it this way. But
yeah, it's interesting. They did add a lot more seating. So they had taken out all of the food, like it was like almost like a buffet back there.
Well, I think, did it used to be a buffet all the time? Because we had the Grinch breakfast.
No.
This is where it was at, and it was a buffet for the Grinch breakfast, which is not now. So I think they just got rid of all the buffet ability.
All of that back there is gone. They just added seating. They closed it off, and it's just the kitchen is behind there.
Yeah.
They added a few registers by the side entrance. So if you didn't want a mobile order, you can still pay in person, like order in person, or if you want to pay with cash, you can do that as well. They did add a mobile pickup window. So if you didn't want to come sit down, you can just go to the window and pick up your order, placing a mobile order like you do at Disney or the other mobile order restaurants that they have at Universal. The whole place got a new paint job. A little sprucing up, added some more characters, some more statues. Obviously, the theming is circus.
I can tell you one thing that didn't get attention was they have that car that you sit in there. And
the train thing.
One thing that again had attention was there's a wheel, like you can sit on it and like take pictures and kids turn the wheel, and the wheel is the squeakiest thing I have ever heard. And we sat right in front of it, and it's just a little thing, just a little bit of WD-40 would have done the trick. But yeah, that's one thing that got overlooked, but. It's an easy fix. If they hear this, just go put some WD-40 on it. I literally wanted to walk up to a team member and be like, do you have some WD-40? I'll fix it for you because I'm about to lose my mind sitting at this table. But that's one thing. But yeah.
All right, let's talk about the food. Let's talk about the food that we got, the menu and all that stuff. So, like we said, they kind of revamped the whole menu. Let's talk about what we got first. So Jared got the burger, which was the Big Top Burger.
Yeah, and nothing else. This was like we ate here right before we left. I was hungry, but nothing really stuck out to me too much. And I was like, okay, I'll just try the burger. As a default, I'll be like, I'll review a burger. I feel like that's where I'm not a foodie, but I feel like I can be kind of a foodie when it comes to burgers. So that's what I got.
And it's a fresh beef patty, cheddar cheese, lettuce, tomato, onion, pickle, secret sauce on a red brioche bun with curly fries. That red bun, when it came out, I was like, oh, that's nice.
Very red bun.
So how was it?
This was meh at best.
Okay.
I did not care for the bun. So first, who knows? I'm not going to get into food coloring stuff. I'm sure some people don't like that. I'm very much, when it comes to a burger, and this is going to make me sound like a foodie, but I'm really not. But a burger bun is very important. I think a proper bun on a burger makes or breaks the burgers. That's one thing I love about Five Guys burgers is their buns, like the way they're just great.
I like a good yeasty bun.
I do like a soft bun. This one was big and not squishy and soft. It was kind of hard.
Oh no.
It almost, and not that it was stale, it just wasn't the type of bun I like. So I actually took the top part off because it was I didn't care for it. The burger itself was very much just like a typical theme park burger. You find it was thick. It wasn't a smash burger. It was fine. It wasn't dry, which I will say didn't have a ton of flavor. Being, $15 for a burger, it's pretty pricey, even though you're in a theme park. But it was just meh. I will say the fries were good.
Curly fries.
The curly fries were good, but this was very much just nothing special. It was meat. It was a okay-ish burger, but I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, you got to go try this.
$15.49 for this one. And then I got the chicken and biscuit for $14.99. This is crispy chicken tenders and a peanut-shaped biscuit drizzled with hot honey and curly fries. Yes, it is peanut-shaped. It is not peanut-flavored. So
when you say you got that, I was like, what? And I saw the peanut, and then
shaped.
it just shaped like it. Yeah, because it's supposed to be like a circus. So it's like, yeah.
So starting with the chicken tenders. So these aren't just regular like theme park chicken strips. They were like fried. It was almost like fried chicken.
I was gonna say they had a very fried chicken look to them.
So they were really good. Now we had asked for the honey to leave the honey off because our daughter was eating it too, and I was like, she's not gonna want the honey on it. So we didn't get to eat it with the honey, but I've heard it's good. But the biscuit was really good.
Yeah, it was really doughy. You should have got the hot honey on the side.
I thought about it, but there was no way to do that on the app.
Oh,
so I was like, I'll just no worry about it. But so anyway, and it came with curly fries, which I liked, and so I would get that again, and I would get with hot honey. So I would give this like a 7 out of 10. I was happy with it.
Yeah, with my burger, I definitely think we had Richter's, like we mentioned a little bit ago. That burger over there was much better than this one.
Okay.
Even though Richter's I didn't think was that great either, it was better than this.
Okay.
So I would say if you want a burger, this would not be your first.
All right.
We're
talking about my chicken now,
I know.
man.
I just wanted to mention that before
chicken.
We moved on really quick. I was just mentioning it, but yes, I did try some of the chicken. The chicken was good.
Okay, thank you. And we also got a dessert. We got the green eggs and ham chocolate cheesecake. This is $6.99. This is pretty good.
This was really good. This was solid. Other than it looks, you like green eggs and ham, but it is very good.
Well, it had like a chocolate egg on the top, basically. Yeah. And I think our daughter ate that, but the actual cheesecake part, no complaints. It was delicious.
No, it was light. It was like very moussey.
Yeah, it was a little moussey.
Moussey, but it was. Yeah, I thought it was really good. Did they have this at the Grinch breakfast? I'm trying to remember if they did.
No.
Okay.
They didn't. They had other green eggs and ham like themed desserts.
I remember they had green eggs and ham themed stuff. I can remember I had this, but no, this was probably the best thing. That we had here. But.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. You can also get caramel popcorn cupcake as a dessert. Some of the other items on the menu, you can get popcorn shrimp box. You can get the roast beast sandwich. Now, this used to be just a seasonal thing with the Grinch buffet and all that stuff, but it's here like permanently now, which is kind of cool. And that's the one that has it's like a meatloaf sandwich with a little sandwich on the top.
Oh yeah, I've actually heard good things about it. I may try it next time.
Okay,
but, I mean it is. Oh man, it's like first. When do you get like $19 for a sandwich? I'm like, man, we're getting up there.
It's a novelty, man.
I know.
They have a magician meatball cone, which is homemade meatballs and marinara cavatappi, I think is how you say it, in like a little cone thing. It's
like a garlic bread cone.
Yes.
This is kind of a thing I've seen trending that places like Italian places
cone.
do. It's like you put like a pizza in a cone or like spaghetti. Like it's supposed to be
it's edgy.
It's supposed to be kind of good, but I've never had one.
Okay. They have red fish, blue fish, pokey. Is it pokey or poke bowl?
I think it's pokey.
Okay, thank you. And that's blue glass noodles, ai tuna, cucumber, edamame, mango, yuzu honey dressing, and furikake seasoning.
No, God! Oh, that's right. That's just actually poke. However you want to say is okay. I saw cucumber and I was just like, oh gosh.
They have a tamed dragon salad. That's a bunch of fruit and some nuts in there. They've got pizza pasta, which is baked mac and cheese. And they have at the pickup window only, they have something called a contortion corn dog. And it is Italian sausage, pepperoni, and mozzarella corn dog with marinara and curly fries. I almost got this, but I was like, nah, I'll just get the thing with our daughter. But again, only available at mobile pickup window, which I don't know why, but
I think it's like a very on the go type thing.
Yeah, you just eat on a stick.
Try that. I was gonna say they don't have. If you're wanting to go here, they don't have any beer.
Okay, no beer for Jen.
Because this was one day. I normally don't. I really every once in a while I enjoy a beer. It was hot. And I was like, I had already eaten anything all day. And for whatever reason, I was just like, I just want a beer. And I couldn't find it. So I finally went kind of toward the front, and they had Yingling, which I really like. They had you get a big can of it, and it was like $10. But I brought it into I didn't know if they'd let me. But I came to the restaurant, ate with there. So you can go get something and bring it in there, I think, unless the lady just didn't care. But they don't serve alcohol in here if you're wanting that. That's something just to keep in mind here.
Well, thank you very much for that. They do have like pink lemonade. They have a Ringleader Rush, like an icy drink. But yeah, everything else is just like Coke and water, coffee, stuff like that. Okay, so since we talked about the menu, we talked about that. Let's talk about the theming. So we talked about it looks like a large circus tent.
Yeah, it's based off, Dr. Seuss books. The one, If I Ran the Circus.
Yeah.
So it's got circus stuff everywhere. The train from the, I forget the
High in the Sky
trolley car ride. It goes through there. So that's kind of cool. Especially more cool if you're on the train versus eating.
Yeah.
Because every couple minutes somebody comes through on a train, which is fine. It goes through there.
So that was the good.
What's going to say?
That's
the theming of it.
Yeah, that was the good. Let's talk about the bad.
Well, okay, our experience here. So we talked about the food. The food was not the worst thing I've ever had in a theme park. Not the best thing. It's just very much.
It was okay
in the road.
Yeah.
I will say, first impressions at this place was not the best because we walked in, and you counted.
I did count.
There were how many dirty tables with dishes were there?
There were 25 tables that had not been cleared of the dishes
that people had eaten on, and then they were done. Because here you don't put your own food up; they come and take your dirty plates.
You're not supposed to do anything with it. You're supposed to leave it there. Okay, that's fine.
This was not a full restaurant either.
No, it was 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, those tables with that 23, however many tables that were dirty, stayed dirty the entire time we were in there eating. No, there was
maybe 5 tables that got cleaned.
The people cleaning there was, and I get it. You're probably doing a job. Whatever, but there was no hurry up and hustle to it. So the whole time there was just dirty tables everywhere.
It just didn't the vibe when you first walk in. The vibe, that's the vibe you're looking at. It was just oh,
well, it's just not a good. It's just not a good look,
right?
When you see it. Our table we got, and there really weren't that many. So here's the crazy thing. It wasn't that busy in there, but there were so many dirty tables. There was really no place to sit when we came in. Right. So we actually cleaned off a table.
Yep. I got out my baby wipes.
The least dirty table there, and we sat at that table and moved the dishes onto another dirty table.
Guys, I was so annoyed.
But that's the crazy part is there were people in there. It wasn't packed, but literally there was not any place to sit because of all the amount of dirty tables. So that was not a great look, I would say.
No, not at all.
So it was just one of those things. We were sitting there and we were halfway through. So that's when I left. I was like, I'm gonna go get a beer. So I came back, and I noticed they were all still. I was gone maybe 10 minutes, maybe. Yeah. I came back in and I was like, oh, they haven't got these yet. And then we're sitting there for a minute. Food comes, eating. I look around. I'm like, at one point I had to get up. I think I went and asked for mayonnaise or something. I can't remember.
Yes.
And I love mayonnaise, guys. I know some people don't. It's great. Not only on a burger. I will dip French fries in that.
You do that.
At that point, it is called, what's the fancy thing they call a mayonnaise when it's not mayonnaise?
I don't know.
You want to fancy it up.
I don't know.
It's there's a word for it. Anyways.
That's okay. Move on.
Whatever it is. It's great. So I went and got that. And that's when I walked around and I even saw more. And I was like, oh my gosh, there are so many dirty tables. And the waitresses, I came up, I was like, hey, can I get this? She's like, yeah, sure, no problem. They were very attentive. The food came up pretty quick. I think it was I think they had very much assigned people just cleaning tables. They just were not moving quick. So there was way more in the back, and I was in they just stayed dirty the whole time. We were there for
45 minutes.
I'd say 45 minutes. And like you said, maybe 5 tables got cleaned.
I'll just share what I observed since I was there longer than you were.
How dare you?
There were 2 busboys, basically, and they were moving very slowly. They had no hustle to them at all, and everybody else was just runners. They were just running food back and forth to tables.
Yeah, and
that's fine. So there were a lot of people working in the restaurant. It's just they weren't using their time wisely to make sure that the restaurant was in pristine condition or whatever. And you know what? That's just what it was. definitely like a management issue because I don't think
Oh,
a
I
manager
think so.
would like.
I think so too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just don't think they
again,
had enough.
Yeah.
People doing it.
Again, like we're not gonna go complain to Universal and be like, "Oh, there's so many dirty tables." No, we're not gonna do that. We'll just be like, you know what? Hey, maybe think about like hustling a little bit more so people don't come in and just leave because they can't find a table that's clean.
Well, and I think that's
the
thing. You easily could have came in here and the only reason we really, to be quite honest, if it wasn't for the fact that we just were going to review this because it was new, we probably would have gone somewhere else because it doesn't create a good first impression. And I get it. Most of us have done jobs we did not like, and I'm not saying a busboy would be a glamorous job, but what I'm saying is from a perspective of like a restaurant inside of a theme park, you would probably like to make at least the front facing tables be clean. Maybe at least move them to the back where you don't see them. But like the first thing you just see is a bunch of dirty tables. Not a great look. But again, maybe it was just a bad day. Maybe it was an off day. Maybe they had people. Maybe something happened. Who knows? That was just our experience on that day. But it didn't affect food wise, it was okay. But it's just that overall experience was just sort of like, okay. Yeah,
and would you eat there again?
I mean, I might to try that roast beef sandwich. I've heard
roast beast.
Sorry,
roast beast
sandwich. Maybe, but like the stuff I had, I don't think there's anything that was really like I'm dying to come back here sort of thing. But maybe to try another item. But outside of that, probably not. What about you?
I would do the mobile pickup window, and I would do the contortion corn dog because I do want to try that.
Yeah.
Like that. That's something I would try for sure. Going in to sit down, I mean, if there's nowhere else to go to eat, if I'm just starving, maybe. But it doesn't seem like something I want to do. Like I wouldn't get the burger, I would definitely try something that's like, a little bit different. So before this, I should mention, before they revamped this restaurant, it was just burgers and chicken nuggets and fries, and that's basically it. They didn't have any of this pasta stuff.
Yeah.
Corn dogs didn't have any of the cool stuff like that. So it's definitely an improvement. And from based on what I've seen for other people, it's definitely a better quality than it was before the renovation. It's just that our personal experience with the way it was being managed at the time we were there just put a little bit of a just not so great taste in our mouth.
I would like to try the cone thing. I'm curious about those. I've seen them before. And we were talking about this too, because I think and we've mentioned many times, one area when you start talking, let's say Universal versus Disney, because people like to do that. Universal definitely lags behind Disney on the food side. But I think when it comes to quick service, and we were talking about this, I'm like, this is probably like on the same level, or maybe, depending on what you get. We didn't try some of those newer food items. I'd say it's on the same level as like a Cosmic Rays. Something like that. That's like, Disney, quick service food sometimes is very, you've got your hits and misses, but like, it's generally just sort of like, the same everywhere. So I feel like this is about that level without trying some of those other things. But I definitely hope going forward, and we've seen this some people said this improved. I can't speak to how it used to be because I don't think I ever ate here before they redid this. But I do hope as, the new stuff that's open has been pretty good. Minion Cafe is pretty good, like Harry Potter stuff, and like hopefully Epic Universes. So I'm kind of wondering if they go around to all of these like quick service areas and like redo them a little bit, spruce up the menus to make them a little bit better. I hope they do.
Yeah.
Because I think it'd be good for the parks in general.
Here. That's a good way to end it.
Here.
All right. Well, let's.
Here.
Yeah.
You've been watching too much Game of Thrones.
Well, that's going to end a review of Circus McGurkis.